Backtesting Euro USD. So here, how this looks immediately is that low got swept, but not with like very great margin. That's very small sweep, which could mean that market wants to draw down here again sometime soon. Plus we're trading inside of a hourly gap here, so maybe if we have a bearish rejection from here, good things could happen. So let's see. Okay, we don't have that in immediately, but we're kind of rejecting now. The session is kind of late, so I would go to London. This looks pretty good in terms of possible move lower, because we have now bearish gap here with that. So okay, sweep with the highs. If we would have a shift, that would be nice. Obviously we don't have that, which annoys me. Kind of late with the session, so I would first of all try to have like a wide stop and risk super small. Otherwise the trade wouldn't be possible to take. And still this is quite low probability because of the time and everything that comes with it. Okay. If this gives me 15-minute break of structure downside, I will still try to enter after 1 minute rejection, but no. Wrong time and time again. Okay, this is bullish Asian range, so if we get like a break of structure to the upside after equilibrium, could work as a long, but like technically something in here could be a break of structure like here, or we have a small fair value gap here, but everything when market does everything like that, I'm just not willing to take the trade there. That's like shit action that pretty much no one wants to execute. This could work. Let's see, so buy limit there. So yeah, rejecting that area. We're bullish anyway. Towards the high, I will close 50% here because I want price to go higher, but I don't really know if they're going to run higher, like, or is this going to give like some type of full-on reversal. I don't know that, so I just need to allow price to do whatever it wants and stops the rest of the position out there. And that's very small winner, but that's a winner regardless. Let's see how much I would have banked there. 1.2 R, so not very good. But the directional bias and everything like that worked well, so happy about that. We got 4-hour fair value gap here, so even if he wanted to run higher, we could go and mitigate that once more, or the first time in this case. So let's see. If we have like a strong break of structure from here, I will go long, but okay, doesn't happen. We just melt through the area. So in that case, I'm moving to the next session. So this area is the new bearish area to go sell from. So yeah, the higher time frame was biased towards sells anyway, so let's see. I would hope that market respects some of these areas so that I would get the price action that I would really want to see, man. Okay. So that, yeah, so okay, so this is interesting because we're rejecting this area now. What I will be doing is 0.5% sell and additional sell entry if we have convincing break of structure in 1 minute. Oh, does this qualify? I would say yeah. I sometimes I do wrong decisions and stuff like that, but I have to trust my analysis, because if I don't trust my analysis ever, I will never learn to do so either. And like for example, now we are dropping towards the area that I want to be seeing. Now, okay, let's just hold. That hits, and that's a massive winner. 1% winner with the 0.5% risk that to our position. Almost 2% winner with that. That's almost 4R. And that's very well pyramided. And yeah. Who's saying that we cannot drop down here? No one really. Like, it would take multiple days, but it could easily drop down there, because that, and eventually that could be the external draw for price. But anyhow, very good trade in my opinion. And I still tend to, especially in like bad market conditions, I tend to execute like a little bit like a bad trades. And then when the right condition comes, then sometimes I just feel a little bit unconvinced, and then I'm a little bit scared to execute with the full margin of the 1% risk that I usually would risk. And then I feel scared, and then I just risk 0.5% because all the previous conditions have been so bad that I kind of have this kind of PTSD from that. But yeah, very good. And you can see we immediately end up dropping even lower. But what I have realized, and what's my experience, is that in this kind of intraday time frames and intraday trades, it's very nice to trade and target just these session highs and lows. So for example, when I'm selling above here, the good intraday target is Asian session low, for example. In this instance, you don't have to wait for something like this to hit, even though in this case it would have hit. Sometimes it just, even if it's bearish, it will just run towards the like Asia low, for example, then give like some type of pullback high and maybe drop during night in Asia session or something like that. So yeah. So we are now in London session. Are we continuing to drop? Well, a lot of sell side is swept, so we could see some type of pullback higher towards the upside of the range. I mean, not upside, but like equilibrium of the range here. If we get like a nice fair value gap in 15 minutes, I could try to long toward, like, especially if the equilibrium doesn't get hit, which it probably will. Okay. New York session is doing what? What exactly? We're kind of chopping, so okay, that high gets swept once more. Choppy structure. I don't really want to get long. I would rather get in the shorts, but clearly it's not going to happen. So let's just allow price to do whatever it wants. Clearly we are willing to pull back quite far up. Probably now towards this high. Because you can see how that wicks out. That would probably mean for me that we are running that high. So if that's the draw, I want to see the first owl candle play out. Okay, this is interesting. Well, in this case, we close like this, or in this this way in hourly. I want to see market coming back to this fair value gap. Okay, now we're in it. Let's see if we can have a bounce. We clearly can, but market doesn't really give me a chance to get in. Okay, so it comes to this 15-minute BPR. We are kind of in a seek and destroy environment right now because we seek for the high, go for the low, and now we are possibly going again for the high. But I don't really know. Let's see if we can have 1 minute rejection from here. Clearly we are not going to see that 1 minute rejection, so that just means that we're probably continue bearish. But technically we haven't closed still, so we could still continue close like respecting. We don't. So that's the session over for me. We could continue lower. That would mean that we need to see 5-minute breaker structure from this area. Um, 50-minute isn't giving me much in terms of breaking structure to the upside, so we could just be driving lower. And even if we are going to go higher, we could just go towards the equilibrium of the range before running, because price is kind of bouncing between some of these key levels, and it's kind of like consolidating like so, and having these kind of sharp moves. Okay, well, this is way too much volume. I shouldn't execute. I wouldn't execute this lifetime, but this is going to stop me out. I guess the real trade would be this one. The time is not really right, but I think it looks quite good. And obviously the time is not right, so I'll just close 50% off here. What the fuck was that? Well, maybe I'm having a little bit hard time to identify the drawn liquidity because we are just ranging basically. Well, the weekly draw is made, so I cannot short this. That's the general idea here. I would scale to go to New York session and see what market is willing to offer. Seems like we're still continuing lower though. I would want to see market going lower first, then running the highs. That could allow me to get in, but clearly it's not happening. Okay, maybe it could happen. Relative equal highs now. Yeah, what is this doing, man? What the fuck? Are you mad? Yo. Okay, I should have watched the daily chart at first. That's clear draw, very clean. Let's see if or like whether or not we are willing to draw it towards there. Okay, bullish action offered. Like, what is this again? Like, price unwilling to leave the area that it should be leaving with relative volume. Like, there's no way I will hold this. We flip this guy, we could be driving towards the next one, which just means we're getting out of this 4 hours. So give me a 15-minute break of structure and that could be good. Look, the only problem with this is that price never really, like, not very often does price do what I'm expecting it to do, and then a lot of possible setups are not being executed then. I don't think I should have executed this either late in the session. I will hold this if it's willing to move, because I know that there is potential for price to move still, so I will allow it to do that, and then just take aggressive profits. Yeah, this can do whatever it wants now. That was a little bit over 0.5%. Couldn't monetize on much more. What can I say? That was price is not willing to meet the targets, so look, price action is not very high probability for me when there is not a single or fair value gap in the hourly chart there. That's just horrible. Then somewhere from this range we could have a shift to the upside. I do feel that, although there is still potential to move lower. Well, let's see if we can have the shift or not. We have relative equal highs there. Look, I want to take this, but like, what the fuck is this again? Like, the choppiness is like one of the worst things that I've ever seen. Like, I'm looking for the break of structure, and then the break of structure market gives is like this here. I'm not willing to go to like 3-minute chart, nor is it even like clean in 3-minute. It's even worse in 3-minute. Then I would hope that it kind of tags me in. Instead, market just wants to live without me, which I'm annoyed about. But maybe if we can have a shift to the upside from here, I could still get in from 1-minute idea. How about 0.7%? This could be a possible aggressive break even. Okay, yeah, aggressive break even there. That high swept, there's no way I will hold this much more in terms of the majority position. That's 2.5R. Okay, clearly not willing to move much further up, so I will take aggressive profits there. In my opinion, that was very well managed. Cause like, market misses me, I'm able to then scale down the lower time frame and see possible entry in lower time frame. Because, for example, in this kind of case, sometimes market wants to manipulate, and meaning like create like equal highs and move just lower. So even though I see that this is an area to go long from, I just don't feel comfortable taking a long looking something like this. I don't feel comfortable doing that because in my kind of idea we are way too far up in the premium, but that premium is totally fine if we get 1-minute breaker structure to the upside, and that's not even like additional confirmation, that's also opportunity to get higher risk to reward, because that's 3.6 RR there. So yeah, decent backtesting session.